Recently, an article which appeared in Investment News dated January 27, 2025, really caught my attention. The headline reads as follows: 6 in 10 people think they need to save 30 annual salaries for retirement. Now, folks, I've never heard of a concept like this, and I'm not sure why savers think this much money is needed to save for retirement. In fact, with over 3,500 clients at Tony Walker Financial, if we do the math here, as you'll notice I stuck this number $3 million up, we assume that the average person or household, let's say, makes $100,000 per year. So that means the average saver thinks they need 30 times 100. Folks, that is $3 million needed for retirement. And with the majority of our clients having nowhere near this kind of money, how in the world are we able to pull off a worry-free retirement for those savers? And why would these savers think they need so much money? The problem is the financial world and something we address all the time called OPM. You see, OPM, or other people's money, is a concept the financial world lives by. That's right. We need your money to make money on your money. Without it, kind of like Dracula, we die. So why would the financial world instill all of these crazy thoughts of inflation and living too long? They want you to have more and more money, and they don't want you to spend it. That's why people think they need all this money. So let's take a look at the different concepts that exist between what we call the worry-free retirement and the financial world. So the financial world, let's say you're age 65, first of all, they're assuming everybody lives to age 100 or whatever it is, and that could happen. And this is why we always instill that people with the worry-free retirement put in something we call
Mailbox Money.
Because the mailbox money makes sure you don't run out of money. But as we're getting ready to see in a minute, that's really not how retirement plays out. You don't literally save more and more money to combat inflation and long-term care and taxes. In fact, more and more money, I found this doing for 40 years now, usually compounds the problems. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but believe me, the more money you have as you age, the more you're going to worry and the more fears that are created, whether it's fear of going into a nursing home, fear of this stuff being taxed to death when you die. So it makes no sense to just keep accumulating all this money. So what we did in the worry-free retirement, this was years ago, and I covered this in my first book, The Worry-Free Retirement. Again, over 20 years ago, I started specializing in this. We created something called the 3 Halves of Life. And what's important is, during halftime, this is when you need to enjoy and spend some of this money. Notice if this represents your net worth, so to speak, we actually want that coming down. We don't want it going up. This is a philosophical difference, and we've proven that this is the way to handle money from the financial world. The financial world doesn't want to give this money back to you because that's less money for them. But you say, well, Tony, what about this fear of running out of money? I don't want to run out of money. You always talk about your granddad and having that pension. How do I make sure I don't run out of money? That's where during the second half, depending on your situation, most of our clients have that. That's where we insert the types of annuities that provide us that mailbox money. So folks, if you're looking at this, and if this seems to make sense to you, that you should use and enjoy the money while you still can, if you should try to keep your assets to a point where they're not growing at some point, but you're either giving them away to loved ones now while you're alive or enjoying it before it's too late, we need to talk. And we've made this so easy to do. It's called the free 10-minute fiduciary phone call. To take advantage of talking to me about your situation, just log on to TonyWalkerFinancial.com, or anytime you can call us 24/7. That toll-free number is 877-499-9255.
Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed that video. If you'd like, check out these other clips. And be sure to hit that like button and that subscribe button for more videos.